ceiling on fire for some of you to move. Oh, but God been good to us. He didn't have to wake us up this morning. God been good to us. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. The book of 1 Samuel, the 3rd chapter, that's in the Old Testament scripture. That's the 9th book in the Bible between Ruth and, 2 Samuel. The book of 1 Samuel, the 3rd chapter. Praise the Lord. God is a good God. Yes, He is. You keep looking at me, but God is a good God. Yes, He brought us from a long way. And maybe He hasn't blessed you enough for you to recognize how good He is. Maybe your circumstances are just too bad, but God really is a good God. Hallelujah. 1 Samuel, the 3rd chapter. Now I'm going to begin reading at verse number 1. It says, and the child Samuel ministered unto the Lord before Eli. And the word of the Lord was precious in those days. But there was no open vision. My Lord. And it came to pass at that time when Eli was laid down in his place, and his eyes began to wax dim, that he could not see. Yes. And here, before the lamp of God went out in the temple of the Lord, where the ark of God was, and Samuel was laid down to sleep. Then the Lord called Samuel, and he answered, Here am I. And he ran unto Eli and said, Here am I, for thou called me. And he said, I call not thee, go thou down again. And he went and lay down. The Lord called yet again Samuel, and Samuel arose and went to Eli and said, Here am I, thou didst call me. And he answered, I called not, my son. Lie down again. Now Samuel did not yet know the Lord. Neither was the word of the Lord yet revealed unto him. The Lord called Samuel again the 3rd time. Yeah. And he arose and went to Eli and said, Here am I, for thou didst call me. Yeah. And Eli perceived that the Lord had called the child. Therefore Eli said unto Samuel, Go and lay down, and now it shall be, if he call thee, that thou shalt say, Speak, Lord, for thy servant here. All right. So Samuel went and lay down in his place. And the Lord came and stood and called as at other times, Samuel, Samuel. And then Samuel answered, Speak, for thy servant heareth. The Lord said unto Samuel, Behold, I will do a thing in Israel, at which both the ears of everyone that heareth it shall tingle. And that day I will form against Eli all things which I have spoken concerning his house. When I begin, I'll also make an end. Praise the Lord. Samuel told Eli to go and lay down. And if he call you, just say, Speak, Lord, thy servant heareth. Just want to talk from that, if or when he call you. When he called you. This is a very critical period in the history of Israel, God's chosen people. loved them with an everlasting love. Yes. Delivered them through many battles. Brought them out of Egypt under the rough hand of Pharaoh. Yeah. Brought them out of servitude and delivered them with a mighty hand. And Israel, just like us, the more God blessed them, seemed like the further they got from God. Some of us, God, it sounds crazy, but he has blessed us a little too good. Y'all ain't saying that. When we didn't sense the blessing, we felt more of a need to call on him. When we didn't have nothing, y'all ain't saying that. We felt more of a need to worship him. But God has blessed some of us. Now we got direct deposit. We got salary. Y'all ain't saying. We got good jobs. And we got a few nickels in the bank. And we act as if though we don't need God. Seemingly, even as the nation that we live in, if God has blessed them above every nation, yes, and the more God has blessed them, the more they have forsaken God. Yeah. Now, I don't want you to think that it is without consequence whenever you decide that you're going to make it on your own. I don't want you to think that it's without consequence when you decide that you don't need God, or perhaps everything is well enough where you can skip out on worshiping God. Yeah. Yes, sir. We say it's not scripture, but it's indicated that when praises go up, blessings will come down. And I told you, you're not going to get blessed because you're in a church where they're praising him. God ain't going to misdirect no blessing. Y'all ain't saying that. Your praise get you your blessing. My praise will get me my blessing. God indeed is a good God, but he will only be rejected for so long. He will only be despised for so long. All right. That's right. In a nation that supposedly was founded on the idea of being able to freely worship God. It seems now to fight more to be free to not worship God. Nation that was founded on God now again have forsaken God and caused money to be their God. Call wealthy folk to be their God. In this text, the Bible says that Israel had forsaken God so good and for so long until God turned around and forsake them. Yes, the Bible said that the word of the Lord in those days was precious, meaning that it was rare. And there was, nobody declared the truth of God or giving any direct or indirect word from God. And don't think that it ain't like that right now. I mean, folk are in church, but not every church is talking about God. Not every church is reminding us of the supremacy of God and reminding us that God is all you need. And they're not reminding us that without God we are nothing, but without us God is still God. There are a lot of churches, but God is still not being worshipped. Many folk are worshiping one another. Y'all ain't saying that. Worshiping the preacher. Worshiping everything but God. But when you take God out of church, church is over. When you take God out of your life, for all practical purposes, your life is over. Without God, I say we are nothing. Don't care how much money you have, how many so-called friends you have, you're going to need God. That's right. Amen. God will put us in a position and in a place where can't nobody help us but God. He'll do it in a way where mom and daddy can't get the praise. He'll do it in a way where the doctor, the lawyer can't get the, what y'all doing? The doctor or the lawyer can't get the praise. But you'll have to say of a surety, nobody but God. The Bible says that Eli, who was the priest in that day, had two sons which should have succeeded him in the priesthood.
Right.
But the Bible said that none like Eli in his young day, they were wicked. They were greedy. And it said so much so that they took of the sacrifices before the people were allowed to sacrifice it to God. They said, bring the nails off the top. Bible said they prostituted and laid with the women that worked at the tabernacle or the altar and did everything to defy the name of God. And although there was no open word from God at that time, you know God won't let you go but so far. Scripture say he sent an unidentified man of God to go and tell Eli that God done had enough. Your stubborn and unrighteous sons, God is going to bring judgment. And he said, if you want to sign that God is going to do it, he said, your two sons are going to be killed in the same day. And I don't want God to have to do anything like that to get our attention.
Amen.
But I want you to know that he will. I want you to know that he can. Eli, the Bible said now, had gotten old. And let me tell you, if you can't do nothing with your children when you're young and they're young, you sure can't do nothing with them when you get old. He had given them the right examples. They decided to go their own way. And nevertheless, he was still responsible for the tabernacle. He still was responsible for his priestly duties. But God said, because you give in to your sons, allow them to pervert the ways of God, there was going to be consequences in judgment. The Bible said, in the meantime, that there was a young boy by the name of Samuel, whose mother before time was barren. But she prayed to God to give her a son. And she promised God that if you give me a son, I'll give him back to you. The Bible said when Samuel was weaned, that she took him to the temple and there dedicated him to God. And the Bible said now that he was there at the temple of the tabernacle there being trained by Eli. And you know, you see some folks sometimes who messed up with their children. You always say that and try to get a redo with their grandchildren. You know the mistakes you made trying to bring up your children. And you know how they turn out. And in order, you understand, to keep your grandchildren from coming out the same way, you know off the top you gotta get a handle on them. Now, Eli was training Samuel. And at the setting of our text, Samuel now was about 12 years old. But his job was to wait on Eli the priest and assist him with whatever he needed. But even with a job at the tabernacle, the Bible says he still did not know God for himself. And I see folk all the time working in the church who do not know God for themselves. Perhaps they know how to usher, they know how to sing, they know how to give praise, but they have not had an experience with the true and the living God. The book says, now that after the prophecy came to Eli, the Bible says his eyes were very dim, or rather, he was no longer able to referred to as legally blind. And Samuel knew that whatever Eli needed, it was his job to bring it to him. Now, the Bible says that as they were laid down that particular night, and Eli had laid down to sleep, and it said this was before the candle, before the lamp of God was turned off. In other words, this happened between the middle of the night and before day in the morning. And it said that as Samuel lay down and sleep, he heard a voice, Lord, that the Lord had called him. But instead of responding to the voice he heard, he responded to Eli. You know, because he understood his job was to assist Eli in whatever he needed. There was nothing strange about him calling him in the middle of the night. And note the little boy who did not have an attitude. Some of us, if you call us and wake us up, y'all ain't saying that you're going to have a good problem. But the Bible said he came and ran to Eli and said, yes, sir, did you call me? And Eli said, I didn't call you. Go lay back down. The Bible said he went and lay back down. And before he could doze off again, good, the same thing happened again. He heard the voice saying, Samuel, Samuel. And he got up again and went back to Eli the same way and said, you called me, what do you need? And Eli again said, I didn't call you. Now, the Bible said this happened a third time. But this time, Eli told Samuel, oh Lord, go back and lay down again. And if you hear the voice call you again, this time don't respond to me, but tell the Lord, speak thy servant will hear. But you got, let me just think this. Eli had to have been somewhat embarrassed because God wants to speak. And instead of speaking to the priest, he's speaking to a tender child. He had to be somewhat in his feelings to know that God did not have a word for him, but he had a word for a child. And sometimes some of us think that folk are too young to do stuff. But if we're not going to do something, y'all better get this. God ain't going to just let it go undone. If we don't do what God called us to do, he's always got somebody to do what has to be done. And I tell you something else about God. God never allowed the prophet to die without another one being born. All right. Find out whatever situation you're in, whether you see what God is doing or not, God is working it out, and he's got it under control. Sometimes the way can get dark as 1,000 midnights. But don't you get discouraged, because if you obey the Lord, he'll work it out for you. The Bible says now that although Eli recognized that this was God speaking, his instructions to the young child Samuel, go and see what thus said the Lord. You know, he wanted to know what God told him. And the Bible said, my Lord, that when God spoke and called Samuel again, and Samuel said, speak, Lord, thy servant will hear. The Bible said he told him, I'm getting ready to do something in Israel, that every ear that shall hear shall tingle. And he says that which I do, when I do it in the beginning, I'm going to do it in at the same time. Only God can do down and die. That same God can speak another word and cause that same man to get up and live again. He's got all power and he can do everything but fail. I want you to know that Samuel heard the voice of God, but he responded to Eli, a man. That's what some of us are doing. And God is calling us. Instead of responding to God, we are responding to man. But when God calls you, you ought to just tell the Lord, here I am. Speak, Lord, thy servant will hear. Yeah, when we ought to be speaking to God, we're speaking to man. And when we ought to be listening to God, we're listening to man. When God speaks through man, but you got to be able to discern the difference in the voice of God and the voice of a man. And understand that you got to get to know the Lord for yourself. For it's problematic when you don't know the Lord for yourself and you hear a voice and don't know whose voice it is. I heard him say, my sheep hear my voice and another they will not follow. How sweet it is to hear from the Lord. To hear the Lord say, it's going to be all right. To hear the Lord say, if you trust in me, everything gonna be all right. We got a good God, and he's able to do everything but fail. In times when Israel was at their darkest point, it was an experience that the Lord was looking for. But God wanted somebody with a tender heart. He wanted somebody with a tender mind. God wanted somebody who would obey his voice. He's still calling right now. As folk are trying to say that God is not real. As folk are trying to say that God does not care. I heard him say, we know that all things work together for the good of them that love the Lord. Anybody here love him? Anybody here know him? Have you tried him? Ain't God all right? I thank God for speaking right now, for telling somebody, come out of your sin, come out of darkness, and walk in the light. Oh, how sweet it is to know the Lord, to know he's
somebody here. God is calling your name. Sometimes we need to say, speak, Lord. Thy servant will hear. Not only should he speak to you, we need to be willing and obedient. When God say move, we need to get up and move. Stop letting God talk to you. And you act like he ain't said that.
Hallelujah.
Oh, we wasted so much time listening to the devil. When we ought to be wasting some time. Listen to what thus says the Lord. God is love. He'll tell you to love you one another. God is love. He'll give you long suffering. God is love. He will pick you up. God is love.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Truly, it's good to know the voice of God.
Hallelujah.
You ain't got to ask no man, is it God?
Hallelujah.
You ain't know if it's the voice of God. But in order to recognize it, you got to have a relationship with it. Stop going on Facebook, asking them, is it God? You got to steal away and say, Lord, thy servant should hear. We're out here polling the public. We polling people who don't even go to church, trying to get them to tell us about church. And you don't know God. How you going to tell me about the voice of God? But when you know God, you know whether it's him or not. Don't be fooled by imitation. The devil can sound good. The Bible says he can transcend himself into a light. But I got news, he still ain't light. Oh, I tell you, I thank God for his word. I thank God for being God. I thank God for how he will lead you in God. I thank God for how he'll make a way. I thank God for his salvation and deliverance. Thank you, God. Truly, we serve a mighty good God. When he calls you, just say, speak, Lord. He called you more than to preach. Some don't think he just calling you to preach. God be calling you unto salvation. He be calling you unto deliverance. He be calling you on your way out. We won't hear his voice. He's making a way and we ignore it. God will give us an avenue of escape. But you got to be willing to take it.
Hallelujah.
Oh, I thank God for his word on this day. I thank God for the messenger of God. The word is good. Now maybe somebody here today, you feel something tugging at your heart. You feel something he's messing with you, and you don't know what it is. Just say, speak, Lord. That service is here. But once you hear his voice, do something with it. Don't sit down on his voice. He said, the day you hear his voice, harden not your heart. Is there anybody here today? God has been speaking to your heart. He's been speaking to your mind. He yet saying, come on. Stop not coming. Tomorrow may be too late.